just shout out to Multiverso True Freshman for doing this interview with me. You guys have, supported me all the way, even when I had 0 touchdowns before the season. And then to hear where I've, done well for my team and for myself. And I truly appreciate you guys for seeing my abilities and supporting me as a player and as a man. And I really, truly appreciate you guys for that. And I support this channel 100%. And you guys do a great job.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis? Bienvenidos a Multiverso True Freshman. Como veis, soy Adri Fraguas, vuestro True Freshman, y tenemos aquí un entrevistón con Caleb Ramseur. Y bueno, voy a presentar primero a mi compañero Bartu. ¿Qué tal, tío? ¿Cómo estás?
Hola, Gabón. Buenas noches. Aquí estamos, Adri.
Y nada, Caleb, bienvenido de nuevo a Multiverso True Freshman. Es un placer tenerte con nosotros en la que ya es tu casa. ¿Cómo estás, amigo? ¿Cómo va todo?
So, Caleb, welcome back to Multiverso True Freshman. It's great having you back here. This is already your home. How you doing, man? How's everything going?
I'm doing good, guys. I'm really glad to be back here. Season just finished up. Very happy to be here with you guys and be able to chop it up and talk ball and how things went for me.
Nice.
Uh-huh. Bueno, acabó la temporada ya y bueno, acabaste muy fuerte, ¿no? Nos vamos a meter ya directamente con varios partidos de más de 100 yardas y partidos con más de una anotación. Antes de meternos en cosas más específicas, ¿cómo valoras en términos generales la temporada? ¿Cómo te ha ido?
Caleb, the season is over and you wrap it up really strong. You had several games with over 100 yards and multiple touchdowns. Before we get into the specific stuff, how would you evaluate the season overall?
I evaluate the season overall as, I would evaluate it as, for me personally, as a huge step forward. Because, we already talked before the season started. I was going through an injury that was, causing me to not be able to practice in fall camp, which ultimately led to me losing, my starting role at the beginning of the year because I couldn't produce in practice, right? So, that I just give kudos to, God and the ability that He's given me to be able to persevere and push through things when it doesn't look like there's light at the end of the tunnel. For the season for my team, I think we took a step forward. Offensively, as a group, we didn't have a great season offensively. Being transparent, we did not have a great season offensively. But defensively, our defense was very good, and they played their butts off. Our special teams took a huge leap. And our offense, we were, not on the same page at times, but when we needed to come together against San Jose and Wyoming, we were able to help our team out and get points on the board, especially in that San Jose game, to get some wins, some conference wins, which we haven't had since 2023. So I would say it's a huge step forward for the University of Nevada, and be looking for them to, improve a lot more next year as they have, more established coaches and stuff like that and guys on the team, and the culture is set there. So I would say, that's where we're looking at for the University of Nevada. But me personally, I felt, I was able to persevere and push hard and be able to push out a great season, even when odds were stacked against me.
And you mentioned that as you missed the autumn training, that you are not getting so many touches in the beginning of the season. How you get your position back? Because of the training, or because when you get the opportunity on the games, you were making numbers and putting yards on the table?
I would say just being consistent, knowing that you can't, what our coach likes to say when we're down on the scoreboard at halftime, we can't get 21 points back. There's no 21-point play, right? If I'm already down by 21 points, I got to build it brick by brick. So, with me, I had to be consistent, practice, making sure I'm getting my treatment. I even, when we were about to play Penn State, 3 weeks before that, I wasn't even practicing. And I looked up on ChatGPT a great warm-up for me to, be able to practice, even though I'm in pain. Like I was making sure I was doing things to give myself a chance. Right. And then, from then on, and as the season went, in practice, I was making sure I set goals, make how many guys miss in practice? 10 guys, right? For example, make 10 people miss throughout the week, catch 5 passes in practice, right? Those things added up and built it up because I was able to look for something to achieve in practice, running hard in practice, even though it's practice, running to the end zone, right? That's what we practice as running backs out of Nevada. I think that consistency just, gave me the ability to earn my spot back and be able to contribute to my team and support the other running backs when they were in the game and be a leader among men for sure.
Uh-huh. Ahora, una vez que completaste, tu ciclo universitario, ¿no? Ahora, una vez que acabó tu temporada, ¿en qué sientes que esta temporada, en qué te sientes que ha mejorado tu juego, ¿no? ¿En qué has mejorado más esta temporada?
So the season is over, and in this last season, in which specific thing do you think that you have improved the more?
I think what I've improved on the most is being able to get up after making a mistake, right? Because in football, you're gonna make mistakes. Me personally, when I've made mistakes in past time, I would let it derail my game and let it allow me to stoop down and just not want to, play to my best ability. But as we've seen in the UNLV game, I haven't coughed the ball up all season, and I ended up fumbling early in that game. And I was distraught about it on the sideline. I was not happy. My teammates and my coaches lifted me up. And it hadn't happened all season. So I was not happy. I was not, thinking I would ever fumble. And it happened. So once that happened, everybody lifted me up and I was able to go out there and put up 100+ yards and 2 touchdowns by the end of the game and do pretty well for my team. So I think that's the biggest thing that I've improved on. Not allowing setbacks to define me and being able to respond rather than look at the results and just to lay down.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Has conseguido ser MVP de la Mountain West en una semana, ¿no? Hace muy poco, y también has recibido el mejor jugador ofensivo del año, ¿no? De tu universidad. ¿Cómo se siente esto? Quiero decir, para ti que llevas toda tu vida luchando por esta oportunidad, ¿cómo lo sientes? ¿Cómo lo disfrutaste? ¿Cómo fue eso?
So Caleb, you've been named the offensive player of your team, and you have reached another personal prizes or awards. How do you see that, in your opinion?
I think that's a great honor, because in my opinion, I felt that I should have got second team All Mountain West. I had better stats. I had, I had to be the anchor for my team, and I was able to really help my team put points on the board in every way possible: blocking, catching, running the ball. So for my team to look at me as the offensive player of the year for my team, I feel like that's an amazing honor. That they also see the hard work that I put in and day out trying to get my team to where we needed to be. I think that's a huge honor. And thank you to my teammates and my coaches and my O-line for getting me that award, because really that's a team award. That's not just me. Everybody else putting me in position to succeed. That's what that award is about. So, with that award, I really appreciate that. I loved it. That's my first time winning an offensive player of the year. I think in my high school, college, any career, that's my first time winning an offensive MVP. So that was amazing to have given to me.
Nice.
Uh-huh. Sí, hablando contigo no hace mucho, recuerdo que hablamos un poco del cambio de número, ¿no? Del 20 al 41, que te ha ido muy bien, ¿no? Y recuerdo comentarlo por ti por Instagram. Cuéntanos un poco la historia, ¿no? De ese cambio de número.
So since the last time we talked, you switched from number 20 to 41. It's worked out really well for you. We remember talking with you about it, and you mentioned it was actually a pretty good story to tell. What's the story behind that change?
Yeah. So 41, our team has a tradition, right? So number 41 is actually retired at the University of Nevada. So it's retired for a player named Marion Motley. He played for Nevada back in the times where, the color barrier was not broken. And he was the player that broke the color barrier and came and played for the University of Nevada. And he was a legendary fullback and tight end for the University of Nevada. And he had his number retired. He was drafted into the NFL as well. So our team has a tradition. Each and every week, we have someone wear number 41, even if it's not their specific number. So I was given it week of San Jose State. And at first, I was like, dang, man, I don't want to wear 41. I want to wear my number. I want to wear 20. Um, then I got to thinking, I'm like, hold on, this might be the change I need, right? I haven't scored a touchdown at home yet. I've scored touchdowns everywhere else but home. You know, maybe I need this number change. So um, that week, San Jose State, that was my best game of my season at San Jose, wearing that number 41. So I was like, oh, shoot, it gave me some superpowers. Thank you, Mary and Motley. So um, so yeah, that was a good thing about the number, like just being able to represent him well and the things that he did for our university and our team. I was able to play well in his number, so I was glad I was able to honor him. And then the second game after Wyoming, I was like, I want to go out wearing 41. It worked last time. Let's do it again. And as we saw in UNLV, I was able to put up some great numbers again wearing that number 41. So that's really why I told Coach Chode on the bus after Wyoming, I was like, I want to wear 41 against UNLV. I want to wear 41. So, yeah.
And it's maybe a conflict with another players because they want to wear the number 2, or
Yeah, for sure. There's guys that want to, like, oh, I want to wear 41 this week. I don't think per se for my when I wanted it, nobody was asking for it, but I know for sure earlier in the year, some guys would want to wear 41.
Nice story.
Bueno, ahora ya estamos bueno, acabó la temporada para tu universidad y ¿ahora qué? ¿Qué viene ahora? ¿Cuál es tu hoja de ruta para los próximos presente, futuro?
So, Caleb, the season is over for your college, and we want to know what now, what comes next for you. What's your roadmap for the next few months?
Yeah. So for me, for this month, resting and getting treatment, getting healthy. I was able to get through the season without having any major injuries, so that was such a blessing to be able to get through and play all the games healthy. And now after this month, I have a bowl game lined up. I haven't specifically decided which one I'm taking, but I know where I'm leaning towards. I won't say that yet though, but I know where I'm leaning towards for a bowl game, which would be January 9th through 11th. After that, I will be going to train for Pro Day prep in Tampa, which is in Florida. So, and then after that, for 8 weeks, I'll be training and then getting back to the University of Nevada for a Pro Day and hopefully executing and getting myself in position to get an opportunity at the next level. That's what it looks like for the next few months for me.
Yeah.
Muy interesante. Hablabas ahora de que estás al final de como descansando, ¿no? En tratamiento. ¿Cómo es ese final de temporada? ¿Cómo de cansado? ¿Cómo podemos explicar a la gente de España cómo acaba el cuerpo una vez que acaba la temporada de tantos golpes, de tanta carga de trabajo?
So we want to explain to people here in Spain how's about that end of the season for your body, how exhausted you end the season, maybe with some injuries or some bruises, and tell the people to understand how hard is your job, both physically and mentally, because we think it's both sides, no?
Yes, it's definitely both mental and physical. After a season, some guys like go unscathed and they're not injured or hurt or anything like that, and they don't need any treatment. But there's guys that push through injuries. Like we have an offensive lineman who had a shoulder injury since last year, 2024, and he stuck it through the season and been playing with that injury. So for guys like that have like a major injury, they got to take some time off from any physical activity. And it definitely does something to your mental, because you're thinking like, dang, I want to be out there training, getting ready to play for my next season. I want to, be lifting weights. I want to do something. I'm bored sitting here in the house being hurt and just waiting for my body to heal. Right. And you want to be able to speed that process up. That's really, that mental aspect really hurts a lot of guys, because like you want to rush things because you feel bored or you feel like you're getting behind and things like that. So for me specifically though, mentally, it's just getting over the hump of knowing, my body's ready to go, my body's capable. I had some in the season. I would say in the beginning of the season, I would have those mental blocks where I'm thinking like, I don't know if my leg's going to be good to, run this play. I don't know if I can go laterally this play because of my groin or something like that. Right. That definitely happened my junior season. I've definitely thought about things like that. Like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do that because of this injury. So physically, it definitely is affected by your mental stability with with things that are going on with your body. And on the aspect of being of the physical side of it, just taking time to heal, it does a lot for your body, especially when you're not having practice every day and being able to sit down and let your body do its thing. So yeah.
Ahora llega otro momento, ¿no? Que es lo que hablabas tú, ¿no? Ahora de preparación, ¿no? De ir a Tampa, esas 8 semanas. ¿Cómo de importantes son ahora estos meses para ti? Quiero decir, ¿cómo de fundamental es llegar a tope al Pro Day, marcar ahí unos buenos tiempos? ¿Y cómo es un poco ese proceso ahora de decir, bueno, pues ahora viene otra parte para el siguiente step? ¿Cómo te preparas para eso mentalmente y físicamente?
So, how do you prepare for the next step, like being ready to the pro day, and maybe you have some agents or something, someone who is helping you through all that process, or how do you prepare both physically and mentally?
Yeah, most definitely. It's a lot preparing for, the next level. It's a whole different game than college, right? College, you don't even have to have an agent to, get yourself out there. You just got to have great film and stuff like that. And it's similar trying to go pro and stuff like that. But you got to really network. You got to connect with people. You got to get, people seeing your abilities and stuff like that. Getting yourself on the mainstream, right? With the agent thing, you gotta, have conversations with people, talk to many agents and see, what their process is like, what they know about the next level, because you can, even if you're not considering signing with someone, you can get a lot of information from guys that know about the next level. And it doesn't have to be hard feelings or anything like that. Some of these guys want to help players, and you can definitely get some insight from agents and even trainers. I've even talked to trainers, um, and they've given me insight on bowl games and actually helped me get into bowl games by putting my name in a loop, right? So just networking is a big part of this thing. You got to be able to put yourself out there, just like recruiting for college. Um, and I would say on the aspect of when you sign with an agent, right? You have to make sure your agent knows what they're doing. You have to make sure your agent is in your corner. You have to make sure that you're not signing with someone that is not in your doesn't have your best interests in mind, right? So that's really the main things with this pro stuff. You got to make sure that you're talking to the right people, getting information from the right people, and you're doing the right things yourself. And the things that you must do yourself is make sure your body is prepared. You got to be in the weight room, got to be training on the field, running and stuff like that, being in shape, because people want to check those RAS scores once pro day comes around and want to see what you did. And if you can compete and stack up against the top guys in the country, you give yourself a better chance of getting selected or picked up. So with this pro stuff, it's a different game and a different beast than just playing football and just going out there and doing what you do. You got to be able to network. You got to be able to meet people. And you got to be able to speak well and to be able to impress people. So I think that's the biggest thing with that.
Es muy interesante y yo creo que además él creo que en esto de las entrevistas y eso, por lo que lo conocemos, va a ser algo en lo que él va a lucir mucho, creo que le va a ir bien. Y bueno, un poco sobre eso, ¿no? Ahora viene otro proceso. ¿Cómo te sientes tú? O sea, más o menos tú tienes una valoración de la temporada con tus posibilidades, ¿no? Nosotros desde aquí vemos que yo te veo con posibilidades, creo que eres un gran jugador en Pass Protection, que tienes todo el pack. ¿Cómo te sientes tú hacia ese a tus posibilidades que se te van a abrir por delante?
So, as Adri mentioned, he thinks that you have very very good traits to be drafted because you are good in pass protection and obviously in your run game. And what do you think about yourself? Which are your real expectations about the being drafted?
My expectations, honestly, it'll be a very, very big time, uh, blessing to get drafted. I wouldn't be looking to get drafted in the first 5 rounds or anything like that. But if I was to get drafted in the 6th or 7th round, I would be like, oh, they're doing some good film watching because they know that I'm capable. Um, but most definitely, just trying to, get an opportunity. I think just how I got into college, I took the opportunity that I had at Morehead State. Then I transferred and I took a walk-on spot knowing that I'm going to do what I'm going to do, which I did this season, knowing that I was going to earn whatever I earn the job that I needed to earn, right? Without the recognition, without people knowing who I am, I knew what I was capable of, and that's the type of player I am. So with the NFL, like if they can see me in the 6th or 7th round, great. If they see me in the 5th or 4th round, great. But if they don't, and they see me as an undrafted free agent and sign me, that's a blessing, right? And if they send me a mini camp invite, that's a blessing as well. But if they give me an opportunity, a legit opportunity, to go out there to training camp and actually practice with the vets and team and stuff like that, I know for sure that I'm going to leave a mark and then I'm going to make the team because that's the type of player I've been my whole life. I know that I've been able to beat people who have more talent and ability than me because I work hard and I just keep going. I keep grinding. That's just the player that I am. I won't stop until I win. And that's just, how I win. The greats, you see Jerry Rice, you see guys like Walter Payton. They weren't the biggest or fastest or strongest, but they worked the hardest. So that's why they succeeded and became Hall of Famers. And I think that's the type of player I am. People aren't willing to do as much work as I am, and that's why I win. So I think, with the draft, hopefully I get drafted, but I'm just really looking to get that opportunity and to be picked up by a team, and given a legit chance to prove myself. And I think if I get that chance, I will prove myself.
Just remember us when you get drafted and you are a pro, eh?
Yep.
Sí. A mí me encanta escucharlo porque creo que este corte se lo deberíamos poner a mucha gente que empieza ahora a jugar, ¿no? A gente joven, porque creo que esta es la actitud, ¿no? Con la que hay que ver la vida, quiero decir. La lucha, y a mí me parece que es un luchador y yo estoy seguro que esa lucha lo va a llevar seguro que a donde él se proponga. Bueno, un poco también queremos saber cómo sigue todo tu vida personal, qué tal la familia, cómo siguen tu tiempo fuera del deporte.
So, Caleb, now talking about your personal life, how's your family going? How's everything going with you and yours?
Yeah. My family's doing great. My children are growing. They're getting bigger and taller and walking and talking. My outside family, like my mom and my brothers and my grandmother and my dad and stuff like that, they're all doing well. They were able to come down and see me on senior night and be able to support me, um, and be able to support me really throughout the season. There's various games where they traveled to Fresno to come see me play, and that was just a blessing to have my family, even my external family, like my head coach at Butte College, Coach Snelling. He came down. His son is actually on our team. He plays cornerback. His name's Bryson Snelling. I seen him when he was really in high school, and I was in junior college, and it's kind of crazy. He was on my team this season. Coach Snellen was able to come down to a few games and see me play, and to go out there and play on the big stage at Penn State, right? So my family and my external family is doing very well, and it seems like everybody's moving in a positive direction, and I'm just loving that.
Nice.
Muy
Nice.
interesante. Bueno, ahora vas a tener un poco más de tiempo para tu hobby, ¿no? Que es el cine y las series de terror, ¿no? Y vas a aprovechar para ver algo de fútbol americano. ¿Estás enfocado mucho en ver tape y mejorar sobre tu juego, o te da tiempo también de ver un poco el college, lo que queda de la NFL?
So, as we know that you are a big fan of series and horror films, and you're gonna have more time now to watch all of that stuff, or maybe you are going to focus on watching your tape for to look in which aspects to improve, or
I think I'm gonna be focusing more on, because it's crunch time. Focusing more on watching my tape and gathering my film, as I was doing today. I was gathering my film and getting myself, my best clips and stuff like that, so people can see, the type of player and person that I am. I think that's really my main focus. But occasionally when it's nighttime, I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm watching movies and seeing, horror movies or shows like Welcome to Derry. That show just came out. I've been watching that. It's pretty good. A lot of people are watching Stranger Things, but I've never watched the series. So I don't know where to start at. But I definitely have been getting into a little bit of movie watching. I saw Zootopia 2 with my babies the other day at the movies. It was pretty good. But yeah, for sure, mainly the main focus is trying to get myself the best opportunity that I can and putting myself in the best position, because you only get this shot once, and you got to cash in on it.
You should watch Stranger Things. It's a good series.
It's good? Okay.
Yeah.
Sí, es buena serie, es buena serie. ¿Estás teniendo tiempo de ver algo de NFL? ¿Estás viendo algo de fútbol ahora en tu tiempo libre o no te da tiempo?
Are you catching up with the NFL? Are you watching any games or maybe college football or?
Really, honestly, I've been really watching, college football, but this week specifically, I'm probably gonna watch some NFL because that the college my season's over, so I ain't gotta watch no more college football really unless it's playoffs or anything like that. But definitely, I'm gonna get into watching some more NFL. I see the Cowboys are doing pretty well right now. I'm not a Cowboy fan, but I just see everybody talking about it. Hoping that the Chiefs could, find a way to, get things right. And then,
they can't miss any games.
And I did watch one game last week. I watched Shador Sanders with the Browns. I forgot who they played, the Niners, and I watched the Niners, Christian McCaffrey and Purdy play and all that stuff. So yeah, I definitely will get into some more NFL watching, but I've been watching mainly college ball last month or so, but definitely going to get into it.
And if you have to highlight something, any team or any player in college this season so far?
Any player that I can highlight?
Yeah.
Let me think. A player that I can highlight. I would say a player that I can highlight is I'm gonna go with a quarterback. I'm gonna go with Trinidad Chambers from Ole Miss. He's been doing pretty well for that team. Getting them, they're 11-1, I believe. They're gonna go to the playoffs. I think that's pretty big coming from a small school guy like him. And I'm also a small school guy product from Morehead State. And he went to Ferris State and came to the SEC, and then has been lighting it up all season. So I got to give it to him.
And who's who do you think that is going to win the national championship in college?
I'm gonna say I would say Ohio State's gonna repeat. They're probably gonna repeat.
Yeah.
Parece como obvio. Tengo una curiosidad ahora que me vino. Tú ahora creo que estás en la universidad y esta semana estamos con el Early Signing Day, ¿no? Y están los recruits un poco firmando. Cuando ellos van a hacer visitas, ¿están en contacto con vosotros, con los jugadores de la actualidad? ¿Vosotros les enseñan las instalaciones? ¿Hay algún tipo de feed de los jugadores a los nuevos reclutas que llegan para no convencerlos, pero como para enseñarles un poco cómo funciona la universidad?
So now it's going to get a time when new recruits are coming to the college, new players, and do you as a veteran player have the opportunity to talk with them, to try to recruit them?
Yeah, most definitely. For us, we already had our recruits during like San Jose week. We had a recruit running back that actually just signed today to the University of Nevada. Janarius, and he went to Feather River Junior College, which is close to Butte College. And he's a 6 foot 225 running back. So I'm really excited for him to come touch down in Nevada and be able to make a big impact for our team and to hopefully get some more wins next year. That was one of the guys that we talked to, before the game against San Jose, making him feel welcome and at home. Not just me, but the whole running back group. We also, inputted why we needed him here. And then Brownwin, Rios, he's a running back coming out of high school from Reed High School in Reno. He is committed, or he signed today as well. and he's a stocky running back, power back, and he's been with us since the beginning of the season, and we've been keeping him in touch with us and being good role models for him to see us at the University of Nevada and see how he would look at the University of Nevada, and he was able to sign today. So most definitely, we definitely play a role in helping guys, helping our coaches get guys to come here.
Yeah.
Sí, eso es muy interesante. Y tengo ya como una curiosidad, ¿no? Que es un poco ya como el cambio cultural desde España, ¿no? Aquí, ¿cómo podemos explicar a la gente? Porque, claro, esta semana hemos visto cómo hay entrenadores que han cambiado de lugar, ¿no? ¿Cómo es posible que, por ejemplo, para la gente que lo entienda, cómo es posible que el entrenador cambie antes de un playoff? O sea, tú que estás ahí, ¿cómo le explicamos por qué pasa esto, ¿no? ¿Por qué es diferente? Si es por los tempos o tiene que ver todo con, no sé cómo explicarlo, para decirlo bien, con el negocio. Bueno, tú más o menos entendiste, Bar, cuál es la pregunta, ¿no?
Sí, a ver cómo se lo planteo. So maybe, Caleb, maybe for you, it even doesn't have an explanation, but how can you explain for our audience here that a head coach quit his job when his team is going to play the playoffs?
I don't know how that even happened. In my opinion, I think he should have stayed with Ole Miss and had loyalty to that program and built them up. I understand that the money that they were giving him was kind of crazy, so he felt that he needed to do that. But I wish he would have, I would have rooted a little harder for him if he stayed at Ole Miss, like the BYU coach is staying at BYU instead of going to Penn State. And becoming a legend at Ole Miss, because I think he was bringing that program in the right direction, and that they beat LSU, right? So I wouldn't, I'm thinking I got all the talent here. I don't need your money, that's what I would think. But everybody has a different mindset, and that's the decision that he made to take it to LSU, and hopefully he's able to win as much as he's winning at Ole Miss, and I hope Ole Miss is able to make it far in these playoffs. But I just hope success for everybody. I think. Everybody has choices in life and they make their decision. I just hope everybody's able to succeed.
Nice.
Sí, nada, pues darle las gracias porque incluso le he puesto esta pregunta que es un poco marrón y darle muchas gracias, Caleb. Vamos a seguirte de cerca este proceso y nada, estás súper invitado para pues quizás hablar, pues quizás después en un momento tranquilo de la off-season o después de quizás ya una vez que acabe el Pro Day o lo que sea, pasarte otra vez por aquí a ver cómo va un poco tu proceso y nada, te vamos a seguir a apoyar desde España como si fueras uno de los nuestros.
So, Caleb, thank you for being with us. It's a pleasure as the times before, and you have the opportunity to come back in a couple of months, or maybe when after the Pro Day to catch up with you. How is everything going? And we wish you nothing but the best. Keep your head up because you made a really, really good season, and we believe in you, and you're going to get drafted, and all your dreams are coming to reality, no? So
Yes,
thank you, Caleb. Really, thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. And just shout out to Multiverso True Freshman for doing this interview with me. You guys have, supported me all the way, even when I had 0 touchdowns before the season. And then to hear where I've, done well for my team and for myself. And I truly appreciate you guys for seeing my abilities and supporting me as a player and as a man. And I really, truly appreciate you guys for that. And I support this channel 100%. And you guys do a great job. Shout out to Multiverso True Freshman, as well as seeing you guys in a few weeks or a month or so like that. I'm definitely down to do it after or before Pro Day. Once more information is out, or how I do and stuff like that. So I'm definitely down for that.
Great.
Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.